am Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and we are continuing our series of review lookbacks. Not really review lookbacks, that's kind of like another series I have, more aggregating my reviews for the entire years. To that end, I've already done one for 2020, I've done one for 2021, now we are doing 2022, which means we still have 2023, 2024, and then a summary video, and then 2025 eventually, but that's not done yet. In any case, just a quick recap, we had an average review score of 3.69 in 2020, 3.61 in 2021, and we are back up to a 3.69 in 2022, but the next 2 years it goes lower. 2023 and 2024 are going to be lower, but we'll talk about those in future videos. We went from 72 reviews in 2020 to 209 reviews in 2021 to 262 reviews in 2022, and then 2023 will be higher. Again, I'm not there, I shouldn't do spoilers, just focus on where we are now, 2022. So 262 reviews with an average score of 3.69. The specific breakdown of that is we had 1, 2, 8 2.5s, 40 3 out of 5s, 101 3.5 out of 5s, 81 4 out of 5s, 14 4.5 out of 5s, and 17 5 out of 5s. That is the total count, making a 3.5 with 101 of the reviews being a 3.5. That is the highest individual score given out in 2022. So that's the 3.5 is the most common rating given. The 2, by the way, was Kingdoms Forlorn, which is actually, I think, liked by others, but I felt that you had to break your teeth on the rules to get to a game that was a whole lot of messiness. That was my own 2 cents on it. There were things I liked about it, but overall I really did not love Kingdoms Forlorn, but I respect that it's a game that will work for others. As far as my 4.5s, and in general I only really tell you the extremes in these videos because I don't really care about all the middles, but I tell you the lower scores as well as the higher scores. My 4.5s, we have a bunch. We had Ares Expedition, we had Burn Cycle, Dune Imperium Rise of Ix, that's specifically the expansion. We had Gollum, Hands of Teutonica, Lacrimosa, Roleplay Adventures, Root Marauder, Slay the Spire, The Loop, The Reckoner's Steel Slayer, Twilight Inscription, and Viticulture. Those are going to be my 4.5s, specifically my 14 4.5s out of 5s. Most of those are still 4.5s out of 5s. I think a few of them dropped. Hands of Teutonica went down to a 4. I don't know if any others dropped offhand. The Loop may have gone up to a 5, actually. The Loop may have even increased. As time has gone on, I've been a bit more cautious about my 5 out of 5s, and sometimes they actually increase more, although we'll see this even more in future years. I'm back to talking about future years. Let's talk about 2022. So those are my 4.5s out of 5s. For my 5 out of 5s, we had, again, 17 of these, although a whole bunch of them are not necessarily counted. I'll explain that in a second. But specifically, we had Acropolis, Blood Rage, Brass Birmingham, and Brass Lancashire. That counts for 2. Cthulhu Death May Die, and Cthulhu Death May Die Fear of the Unknown. I'll explain that soon as well. We had Encyclopedia, Kemet, Arnak Expedition Leaders. We had Oathsworn, Paris Le Citelier, TAC, Castle of Burgundy, The Crew, Unconscious Mind, Unsettled, Zombicide, Undead or Alive. Those are the 17 5 out of 5s. I said I'll explain a little bit about Cthulhu Death May Die because I actually covered Cthulhu Death May Die multiple times, but this is the first time I did a dedicated review. With the introduction of Fear of the Unknown, I took the time to do a dedicated review of Cthulhu Death May Die as well, so it's the first time I got like a full-on dedicated review, which means the rating showed up in 2022. Speaking of which, actually, if we go over those, Acropolis has dropped down to a 4 out of 5. I've covered this. That one definitely shifted downwards. I liked it a lot, but the variability just wasn't there. I touched upon that in my initial review, but it took time for that to slowly drop to a 4.5 and then a 4. Blood Rage is still a 5 out of 5, but again, well, in fact, from this list, a whole bunch of them were pre-2022 ratings that I happened to review in 2022. Specifically, Blood Rage, one of the brasses, Brass Birmingham, was Brass Lancashire. Which one's which? I always forget which one's which. Which one do I have on my shelf? I have Brass Birmingham. So Lancashire. So Brass Lancashire was from before. So Blood Rage was from way back when. Brass Lancashire was from way back when. Cthulhu Death May Die was from way back when. Any others? We have Castle of Burgundy was from way back when. So those 4, I think, from the rest of them are previous 5 out of 5s that happened to get a review in 2022. And there's also some expansions. We had, I said, Arnak Expedition Leaders, Zombicide Undead or Alive is like the same but different. So those are 2 as well that are expansions. I don't know if there were anything else that were... Oh, Kemet. Kemet was a previous 5 out of 5 as well. So again, like 5 of these were from before, 2 of them were expansions, which leaves 10 new 5 out of 5s. 10 that were like really new to me, and those specifically would be Acropolis, although Brass is also, so really 9 of them. 9 of them are newish, so to speak. Acropolis, Encyclopedia, Oathsworn, Paris. Tak was an older one too, so that doesn't count either. Tak was an older one that happened to get a review. The Crew, Unconscious Mind, Unsettled. Yeah, those 7, I guess, are the newish 5 out of 5s. The other 10 are all peripheral, so to speak. They still count, which is why I include them here. But in that sense of like what's being highlighted as new and exciting. Like, for example, right now, Infamous in 2025, the only 5 out of 5 I've given in 2025 went to Everdell Silverfrost, which is Everdell that I already know and love. So, like, I haven't given any new 5 out of 5s, but I did give out a 5 out of 5, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's basically what we have as far as the breakdown of 2022. No specific major changes over there. Some of the previous videos I've talked about how reviews changed over time. The average score didn't shift significantly. I think it went from a 3.69 of the new score to a 3.65 on average of current score. But again, not a major shift. They don't really tend, some go up, some go down. There's usually not major adjustments as far as where something was versus where I currently feel. And that is your 2022 recap. We'll be back with more in the series, specifically with 2023 coming soon enough. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this informative, enlightening, something in some way. And as always, I hope you have a good one.